riding. Hello. I cannot believe it's December 1st and 50 degrees out right now. I had to take the bike out. I was so excited to get dressed and get my bike out in the driveway and start her up. I took off, and you guys, I totally forgot to check my tire pressure. So far, nothing crazy's happened. I felt like a little bit of a wobble, but it could just be because the roads were crappy. I'm actually on my way to my best friend's house to feed and water her cats. So if I don't come back from seeing you guys, that means the little one killed me. So once I get to her house, I'm going to check my tire pressure. Which is not ideal because they're probably a little warm by now. Shame on me. It's been a solid week since I've ridden, so I really needed to see that they're up to par. I took the long way to get to her house because it's significantly less windy. I didn't think I would be doing this much riding this much into the winter months, even though it's technically not winter yet. And everyone keeps asking me when I'm going to get new tires on my bike, and I'm like, oh, I'll do it before, next riding season. I feel like I'm going to have to do it here soon if I want to keep riding on nice days. I hate riding through trees like this because, what do you do if you have epilepsy? You probably shouldn't drive or ride if you have epilepsy, but damn, it's like a dead tree disco. And here we are. Pavement. Beautiful, sweet, flat, wide open pavement. I don't really have anywhere in mind of where I'm going to ride to today. I think I'm going to go up to my Harley dealership, see if they still got those road glides for sale. I'm not buying a road glide. It says it's supposed to rain later today, like 80% chance of rain around 2 p.m., but I'm really, really hoping it doesn't because the roads are still kind of wet, and if these roads can dry off, I could ride pretty far. So before I go to the Harley dealership, I'm actually gonna go try a new coffee shop. I've never been to this one. I've never taken you guys to this one. And I honestly don't know if I'll take you inside on this one because, we gotta keep some distance in our relationship. And I have really let you guys into my addiction fast. And I gotta pump the brakes. I'm addicted to coffee. I love iced coffee. So I gotta experience some of this on my own time. So I hope you understand. I think I mentioned in my last video or one of my previous videos, my helmet is all open mesh right here. So it doesn't matter if I have the vent open or closed, it's always open. I hope you could hear my microphone. I tried to position it in a little better location. So we shall see. Very excited to ride, not in direct blazing sunlight. I don't know if you guys know me. My name is Jess. I'm 30 years old and I'm a vampire. Man, I miss riding. Look at those clouds. They look like mountains. I don't know if you guys follow his channel, but speaking of mountains, 40 times around, his channel is linked down below. He just posted a video, like a part 1 of his riding trip to Colorado, and I told him, I have been dying to get back to Colorado. I haven't been there in 17 years, and when I went for the first time, I was 13 years old, and I don't remember much except the vividness of everything. Everything was so colorful, so blue or so yellow or so green or gray or just, it was absolutely amazing. Probably the most beautiful place I have ever been to. I haven't been very many places, but it was gorgeous. So I definitely want to try to get back to Colorado Springs for sure. I would love to maybe, go see Pikes Peak again, Garden of the Gods. And it would be a really awesome bike trip, I think, but my husband and I both, I feel like we have a lot of things stacked up against us next year that we're going to have to watch how much stay out there and rent a bike. So if you guys if anyone lives in Colorado, Denver, Colorado Springs or something, let me know where you rent your bikes from. Maybe I'll check them out and price them out and see if we can look at some dates. But yeah, so a couple weeks ago I posted about my new riding gloves that I've been wearing in these colder temperatures, which granted right now it's about 50 degrees, so it's really not that cold. Now that I actually have the gear to ride in this type of weather, in hindsight it's not that cold. I could totally do lower. I don't want to, but I could. But anyway, you know, everyone was asking what gloves are they, what brand, blah blah blah, and I just didn't even know. The guy at the store was like, yeah, I swear by these, and I said, all right, I trust your opinion. So I bought them and put them on and rode in them, and they were wonderful. So after doing some research, and instead of just blindly buying things people tell me to, I found out they're actually snowmobile gloves. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. They're not necessarily protective. You know, if I go down, I'm probably going to break a hand or something. I mean, there's some abrasion resistance on here and some extra padding, but they're snowmobile gloves. I can't say the name. Katahdin Extreme Gear. So far, they've been pretty rad. I know by the time you're watching this video, we're going to be at least a few days, if not a week, into December. But as of right now, for me, IRL, it's December 1st. It's 50 degrees, and I'm just absolutely digging it. I wish it would stay like this at least until January. Yeah, I'm just going to shut up and enjoy this weather, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, I'm certainly caffeinated now. The wind is picking up pretty bad. Thank you for throwing your cigarette butt down. So wonderful. Boy, the clouds are rolling in now. Sunshine was short-lived. Man, nobody wants to use a turn signal today. That's how I let people know I'm angry. Rev and speed up, and they're like, oh no, I did something wrong. Just kidding. Nobody knows when they do something wrong, especially not in four-wheeled vehicles. Man, these clouds are gnarly. Ugh. Ugh. Get my head blown off here. I checked the radar before I left the coffee shop, and it says the rain's gonna hold off, but it certainly looks like rain over there. Warmth. Clouds are crazy. Super low too, and the wind is nuts. Like, I have two pairs of pants on right now, and the wind's just cutting straight through both of them. I'm a little sad. This dealership is moving. I'm not sad for them. It's a good growth and a good opportunity, but this is the closest Harley dealership to me, and once they move to their new location, they're going to be a lot farther away and definitely out of the way. Right now, I drive by this dealership almost daily. Skirt. All right. Let's go see what kind of trouble I can get into. Let's get out of here because it is starting to rain, of course. Dude, that dealership has so many bikes. I have no idea how they fit it all. I have a hard time backing my bike into my own garage with my husband's bike sitting next to me, and they got like Tetris Harleys in there. It was cool though. Like I said, they're moving to a new location next year, and it's gonna be much bigger. It's pretty gnarly looking behind me, so I gotta get the heck out of here. Hopefully I can, oh yeah, that's rain. Dude, my weather app says that it was only 30%, and that 30% is behind me. The Harley franchise that owns that dealership, they're doing a polar bear run on January 1st. And it starts out relatively close to my house, probably a 30-minute ride from my house, which for me that's close. So if the weather's nice, I mean, if it's dry and freezing or above, I might do it. So we were in there talking about the rider plaques that they put up in the dealership. So each year, each riding season, I guess, like I said, this is Ohio, so we only pretty much ride in between the months of April and October. But each riding season, they give like a little metal plaque to the person that does like the most miles. And I think the one that we just looked at, the guy had done 22,000 miles within the 6-month time frame or whatever it is. And I was like, dang, that's pretty, I mean, like, that's a lot. I'm like 100% sure there's other people that do way more. They just don't know about the whole dealership to dealership track your miles type of thing, because that's the first time I ever heard about it. And I was thinking, like, how many miles did I do last summer? And I think I did 8,000 miles, and I only went out of the state twice. So I definitely log some miles when I commute back and forth to work every single day, because it's about 20 miles one way, which is something I miss dearly. You know, working full-time can get monotonous, and driving back and forth to work I absolutely hate, especially in the wintertime. I really hate it. I've started developing some kind of like anxiety towards it when the roads are really bad, which isn't good. I used to be a very confident driver, especially because I drive a manual car, so I can control my revs and stuff, and I never used to be worried about it until recently. And we've been having some really bad winters and the roads just don't get taken care of. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I miss commuting to work on the bike. I've mentioned previously in one of my older videos that, you know, I drive defensively and I drive aggressively because people are so freaking distracted, so you have to be on top of it and protect yourself. But anyway, when I ride to work, it's a whole different experience. I remember the very first time I rode to work. Well, first of all, I was terrified because I had just learned how to ride, and like I said, it's 20 miles one way, so I was riding for 20 miles on a very busy road, and it freaked me out. But as I got used to it, it became actually very relaxing, and it calmed my nerves being on the bike versus when I was in the car, because I just, you know, I wasn't as ballsy on my bike. I was like, okay, the car in front of me is going slow, I'm in no rush. What, you're just going to work, you want to hurry up and get there? Like, I'm never late, so I just take my time. And then on the way home, when I'm on the bike, usually when I leave work in the car, I'm like, I just want to get home, I want to cook dinner, I want to chill, I want to hang out. But when I'm on the bike, I'm like, oh yay, I'm off work, I get to ride, I take the long way home, and it's just so nice. So I really miss that part of my daily commute. The one thing that I do now in the wintertime, I download audiobooks and listen to them in the car, and I don't know what the difference is. I don't know why I use a different section of my brain when I drive versus when I ride, but when I'm in the car, you know, you ever have those moments where you're like zoning out and all of a sudden you wake up an hour later and you're like, how the hell did I get here? It's kind of what happens when I listen to audiobooks. I don't do anything, like I don't run red lights, or, you know, I'm still fully paying attention to the road. It's like muscle memory. But the first time I ever tried to listen to an audiobook on the bike, whoa, that was dangerous. It's something about listening to a story, because like when you can listen to music on a bike, you know, that doesn't affect your motor skills or your reaction time. It's like background noise. But when you're listening to a story, you are definitely focused on something else other than the road. So I don't listen to audiobooks on the bike at all, ever. Man, it's looking pretty promising up in front of me. Behind me, I don't know if you can see in the mirror, but behind me it's a little gnarly. I've been saying that word a lot, gnarly. I think I'm gonna make it. I think I'm gonna make it home in time. This is great. Sunday fun day. Well, if I don't see you guys before this video, happy December 2019. It's the last month of the decade. That's weird. It's wild. Going into 2020. Alright, I hope you guys have a good rest of your decade, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.